Yes, please.
Yeah. My name is Thiên. I'm living in Bình province. I knew your the fan page a long time, but I have no time to join. Today, I have a little time, so I really enjoy your topic. Yes, so glad to see all of you. Thank you for for listening.
So, are you living in Bình province, right?
Yes, I am living in the Bình province now.
Yes. How about COVID? How about COVID-19 in there?
Oh yeah, it's so crazy because there are many the F0 around me. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but I try my best to protect my family, and I try to carry out the 5K. Yes, and after that everything okay now. Yes.
And what do you do for living there?
Yes, I'm a freelancer. Yes.
Freelancer.
Yeah. I work as an auditor in the past, but I dislike these jobs. I am an auditor. Yes.
You work by from your house?
Yeah, I work in my house, and I have a small company, and I operate the company, but because the COVID-19 is affects many things with my business, so I couldn't control my jobs, my business, so I can just start again. Okay, no problem. I have a good lesson.
Yes. You have the Spanish good. You have I think you have a good knowledge in English.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
You turn on your camera. We can see you.
Yes, of course. Okay, let me check. Okay. Do you see me? Do you see me?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Yes, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for sharing. And we only have seven people in our Zoom, so we can wait for me, right? Hello, Miss Trang.
Hello.
We can wait for a minute, for 5 minutes.
Yes. Yeah,
sorry.
it's okay.
This our host. She lives in Finland. Yes, she's a talent girl. You want to make friends with her? Some question for her?
I think the internet is not good now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you clearly.
Okay.
And what time is it? What time is it in your country?
It's 12:05, so exactly at noon now.
At noon. Okay. Have lunch? Have you have lunch yet?
No, actually I just had breakfast. So I got up and then I realized that I haven't made anything for the meeting today. So I started to go quickly with the PowerPoint, and then and then I tried to make some small breakfast, and so I just finished my breakfast.
Yes, you had a preparation for your PowerPoint, so we are waiting for your presentation.
Yeah, like I told you that I had a crazy time with my new apartment, so I just started to organize the things. So everything's still messy stuff here, and but I try to make the quick PowerPoint to have a better organized for the meeting today. So yeah, so I hope that the PowerPoint will be okay to help people to understand and follow what I will say.
That's why you have the short time, but you have well preparation before you go to our Zoom.
Thank you.
That's very nice. We have much people there, more than 10 people, so we get started now, right? Welcome everybody. Welcome, Miss Angela. Turn your mic, please.
Will it be able that people can show the camera?
Yes.
People on the camera not.
Hi, good afternoon, Metro ladies.
Meet you again.
Yes.
See you. No time to
Hello,
see you.
everyone.
Yes. This, do you know my host today? Our host today?
No. No. Who? You?
No.
No.
Yes.
Miss Chang. Miss Chang. Miss Chang, where are you?
Vietnamese. But the has another name is Makato, and I wonder where is it from?
It's Japanese nickname. I will talk a little bit about that one. But yeah, just call me Jang. It's okay.
I wonder is this a English name or another? But it come from Makato. I wonder where is it come from?
Yeah, I will mention about that later.
Another guy, introduce yourself, please.
I usually hear this Miss Sophie usually to be make a horse.
Miss Angela, can you introduce yourself in front of many people in here?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Angela, and I'm in Tân Phú. I'm living Tân Phú district, Ho Chi Minh City, and I am here to listen and Miss Jen and maybe some of you to talk about yourself and learn, learn together, especially improve English. And yes, nice to meet you.
That's okay. So Snap, I want to introduce you.
And the next people I want to pick up, introduce to everyone is Mr. Nguyễn Hiển.
In here?
Hiển.
Yes, here.
Yes, the people write Miss Chan on the chat box.
I just introduced before. Before you have just
Mr. Cường, can you introduce yourself to people, to other people? No.
không nói được.
Open horse. Just open mute. Can you turn on the mute?
Yes,
button?
nói được
Yes.
rồi. Hello. Nice
Hello.
to meet you. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes.
I am Cường. My hometown is Kon Tum province, and I am here.
You very near
Yeah.
me.
Thank you. I worked in Bình Dương province since 2017, and now I come back my hometown and become a farmer. Nice
That's
to
all?
meet you.
That's nice to meet you too.
Yeah. I'm 27, and you, Mr. Charlie, Miss Charlie.
And then,
Thank. Yes.
yes, you,
How old are you?
I'm 38, 37 though. Yes, I
37,
live.
yeah.
Yes, I live near your province. I live in Pleiku City. It's very near Kontum City. Kontum City. It's far from 50 kilometers.
From Ho Chi Minh to Kon Tum.
Oh, Pleiku.
50 kilometers. Yes, near Pleiku. Pleiku and Kon Tum is the same before, but
Yes.
yeah.
And now it's separate. And now it's separated.
Separate, yeah. It's peaceful and nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we welcome warmly with my heart, Miss Chang. She's from Finland. Yes. Hello, Miss Chang. Hello, Miss Chang.
Hello. Should we start now or we will wait? I don't know. I'm just staring at the screen and kind of waiting.
Yes.
So should we start now or we will wait a little bit or usually?
Miss Charlie.
Yes, you can want to introduce yourself a little. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Thu Chang. So I was born in 1989. So I'm actually 32 years old. So that's why when you know my age, you can call me whatever you think is suitable. So I'm actually in Finland now. And I don't really know about anyone here except for, I guess, Thảo is my friend. Is it Thảo?
Yeah.
Is she here or she just kind of like a ghost? Thảo, hello.
Oh, no, it's not her.
Oh, okay. So it's not my Thảo. So yeah, so if you know Thảo is I think she's an English teacher. She used to be a journalist and then she turned to be an English teacher. And we have known each other for maybe 5-6 years, something like that. And then suddenly a few days ago, I think last week, she contacted me and asked me if I want to be like a speaker in a meeting, a serial meeting for her English group. Although I was very busy because I had my job, I had my study, I have my business to moving because I just moved from a city to this place. So I was super busy, but I think it would be fun to meet her student. So, and because the purpose is for helping and supporting you guys with your English. So I think it would be very helpful and meaningful for the meeting. So that's why I say, yes, of course, why not? And that's why I'm here today with you. But I heard from Miss Wee, Miss Jolie, and Yuen and Thao that some of you may be not familiar with English, so I'm not sure if you would be able to understand fully what I'm saying now or not. So in case you can't catch up what I'm saying, I think you can just leave something comment in the chat box and then we can come back to that later. Is it clear? Yeah, I will try to speak as slow as possible because I'm not an English teacher. So when I speak English, usually I speak it quite fast. Of course, I make some mistake and you may find some mistake in my sentences, but like you, I'm not consider myself as a teacher at all. So I'm not coming here as an English teacher. So I'm still a learner. And of course, I would have some mistake in my saying or, you know, during conversation, you can figure out, oh, she made this mistake. And if you find out that I have some mistake in my saying, that means you are better than me and you know something than me. So that is a good point. If you can point out, Jane, you say it wrong, you should say it this way. That is the very best way that you can show that you know something better than me. And that is a good sign that you have some improvement in your study. So be free to ask me back, like, why you saying that, something like that. And it would be a nice way for you to learn. So yeah, so the purpose of this meeting is I'm talking about my stories, my experience, basically about how I learned English and how I immerse myself in the English environment to study, travel, and come into Finland here. And what could be something meaningful and useful or helpful to help you guys to overcome the challenges when you kind of like beginner in this journey. So hopefully it can support you at some point. And I can share my screen now. And because I'm sharing the screen, so maybe I cannot follow the chat box. So you can interrupt me anytime you want. Just anytime. You don't have to wait until I finish because then I have to turn back and then I don't remember what I'm saying. So you can just stop me anytime you want to ask. And it's okay.
About that. Yeah. No worry about that. We can stop you, whatever.
Okay. Can you let me share my screen, Joey?
Yes, okay, I will give you.
No, it's only host and co-host can allow the.
Can you share your?
No. Yeah. We call Mr. Tina. Miss Tina.
Who is hold the hot? Yes. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So now I will minimize your screen and then I will start my screen. Yeah. Can you see it clear?
Yes. See, can see.
Okay. So I have this one. How to hide this bar because it's so big. Sorry, I need to check with. Yep. Oh. I have this. Yes. Okay. No, sorry. All right. So I named the title of the topic today is Eat, Pray, Go, Love, and Learn. So I don't know if you find it familiar with you at some point with the title. Anyone here can tell me if you feel something when you heard about Eat, Pray, Go, Love, and Learn. Anything sounds familiar with you? Anyone has some idea? All right, so if you don't know, then I will tell now. why Eat, Pray, Go, Love, and Learn. Because if you have ever heard about the story or the movie Eat, Pray, Love, then I actually copy its style. So do you know about Eat, Pray, Love, the movie or the story?
No.
So silent means no. So that's in my first English book I read. So Eat, Pray, Love, it actually, I watched the movie. The main actress is Julia Roberts. I think you may know about Julia Roberts. She used to have a label, the most beautiful woman in the world. Julia Roberts is very famous actress. And I watched this movie, Eat, Pray, Love, and then I really fall in love with this movie. And later I bought this book, Eat, Pray, Love. I think I bought it in Malaysia, and it was amazing. I think that the book is better than the movie, but yeah, both of them are good. But reading the book, you can understand well the concept, the story that the author wants to tell. And it's very inspiring. So that's why I chose that title and try to modify a little bit here. So instead of Eat, Pray, Love, I Eat, Pray, Go, Love, and Learn. So I put the pray in the parentheses because I think pray is kind of religious things, but everyone here has their own belief. You can believe in something and you feel it's the one to give you the power, or make you feel better, make you feel stronger and more confident. So that is something we pray for. And for me, you need some luck in your life. And that's why we can't say that we can do anything. No, for me, we can do something and we can't do something. And sometimes I have to pray for the luck. And yeah, so basically Eat, Pray, Go, Love, and Learn is the journey of all my life so far. And of course, sleep. So yeah, so the story today will be around these things: Eat, Pray, Go, Love, and Learn, or not about eat and pray. Just go, love, and learn. So particularly, the story will be about, firstly, I will introduce a little bit about myself. And I call the journey is leaving my comfort zone. I don't know if you have ever heard about the word comfort zone. If you know, you can say out loud what it is. Or if you don't know, then I will tell more about that.
Yes, everyone
Anyone here?
And here.
Been like,
Comfort zone.
oh, it's okay, it's okay.
If everyone don't understand what does it mean, please add it in.
All right. So comfort zone is, comfort is something make you feel easy. You are familiar with that thing. You feel comfortable. You feel easy because that's the thing you do every day. That's the people you meet every day. That's the action, the activities you do every day. You know it very well. And when you live with those activities, with those people, it's kind of a zone. A zone is an area. So that's when I said my comfort zone mean like my daily life, my work, my family, all of the things make you feel easy because you don't take effort to solve like a big problem. You don't have any kind of like big challenges when you live in your comfort zone because you know how to deal with the problem because you get familiar with those things. Very easy to solve it. For example, comfort zone, for example, like you have a job, you go to the work every day, you do the same task, you meet the same colleagues, or you go to school, you study, you go back home, eat, study, the next day you go to school, go back, just something like that. And there's nothing different happened. So that's kind of like comfort zone. And I will tell you my story about how I leave that comfort zone, because that's not easy at all. It's very difficult because when you feel easy with something, you don't want to move yourself to something different, to something difficult or something that you don't really know how to do it. So there you do it. That's the problem. That's the question. There you leave your comfort zone. There you leave your family. There you quit your job, something like that, and go to somewhere that you have no idea what to do or how to solve, how to face the problem. So that's the first thing I will tell you about how I leave my comfort zone. And then I will focus on how I did start learning English and love to learn English. And then I will tell you a little bit about how I start meeting foreigners, friends, because that's one of the things very important that you need to do when you want to improve your English. Of course, I know that you can practice English with your Vietnamese friend, but it's very important to learn English from the English native speaker. And that's why you need to find a chance to meet foreigners, to know how they speak their language. Yeah, so that's the basic point I will tell you today. Any questions? I don't know if you really understand, if you understood what I'm just said. Yeah, there's someone raise hand. Yeah, that's a good way. I can see someone want to ask something. Yes.
Here, you can turn down the mute. Easy.
Yes, you have a good story for us, but I think it's very hard to leave the currently job. But you have a plan to leave your comfort zone. It's a good guy, but I don't know what is the passion how to leave the comfort. Example, when you have the safety the jobs, yeah, it's very hard to leave it because you can receive the salary every month, right? But if you want to stop quit your job to move another substance like your passion, it's not really easy for you. And what is your how to make it and how to make decision quickly? Yes, I want to hear from your side. Yeah, you know.
Thank you very much for this question. It's very beautiful question because this is something people always question. How do you do it? And how? That's the question. How? It's easy to say, leave your comfort zone, quit your job, do something else, but how to do it? So I will tell you now. Yes, of course, I will tell you. And here you see next to my text, there's a picture. Actually, that's the picture I took when I was in Luang Prabang. If you have heard about Luang Prabang in Laos. So yeah, it was a very nice moment. I was there along with very traditional food in Laos, and that was a very nice moment. And those moments when you be alone in a strange place, like totally strange, then it help you to think more and deeply about yourself. So yeah, so I will answer your question very quickly now. Thank you for asking. Yeah, but I will let you know a little bit about myself. So like I said, my name is Thu Trang. I usually make a joke, not that why is Thu Trang. So I usually ask people, what's the meaning of your name? I really love to ask people, do you have any story behind your name? And so Thu is August because I was born in the August, and Trang, I know that in Vietnam, there's thousand million girls named Trang. So that's why I want to make myself special. So because my dad's hometown, so where my father was born, he was born in Nha Trang. So that's why my dad's hometown is in Nha Trang. So I told people Trang is Nha Trang. So there's a title song named the autumn of Nha Trang, I think so, of the composer Nguyễn Duy, I guess so. So that's why I found a story for my name. And why I named myself Makoto, because I used to learn Japanese for 2 years, and Makoto means sincere in English, like sincere. And when you write a letter, you often assign at the end of the lecture, yours sincerely. So sincere means chân thành, and I really love that word in English. So as a I usually ask people, what's your favorite word in English? If you study English or if you study a language, you usually need to think about what is your favorite word. And in English, my favorite word is sincere, S-I-N-C-E-R-E, sincere. And it means chân thành in Vietnamese. And in Japanese, the name Makoto means sincere. And that's why I chose the word Makoto. So the idea to ask people, what's your favorite word in English? I got it from the book, Eat, Pray, Love. So this actress, this main character, she went to Italy and she asked the people in Italy because she wants to study Italian. So she asked the people in Italy, so what's the favorite word in Italy? So people say like pizza, people say coffee, and some people say sex. So it's kind of really funny question to ask. So whenever I met anyone, any English friend, I ask them, what is your favorite English word? And that is something you will get some new word because they will tell you their story. Yeah, so that's why I named myself Makoto, because it means sincere in English, and also my favorite word in Vietnamese. So from 2011 to 2017, I was a chemistry teacher in high school in Saigon. So yeah, a pretty stable job. I love that job. I love teaching. I love chemistry. Nothing complain. Just I get bored. I get bored so easily that I feel like, no, I want to do something else. And then since 2018, 2022, I moved to Finland. I studied my master's degree in education. I work as a research assistant in a project here in my university named University of Turku. And from 2020, I graduated from my master's degree. So I had my master's degree in education, and then I got my offer to go to study doctoral study, PhD in Vietnamese y tiếng sĩ. So yeah, so now I'm studying as a PhD student. And at the same time, I just got to the new study. So having my second master degree now in chemistry. So at the same time now, I study for my PhD, and then I study for my chemistry master degree. And also I work as a project researcher in my university. So study and work at the same time. So, but overall, I consider myself, yeah, I used to be a teacher, but on top of that, I consider myself as a traveler. So I put the word spontaneous traveler here. Do you know the word spontaneous mean? Anyone here understand?
No, I don't understand this word. Can you explain the term? This word?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
Anyone? So spontaneous is you don't plan. You do it like, okay, tomorrow I will go to America. Then I go to buy the ticket. I don't really plan that I go to America. Just like that, so spontaneous. Okay, today, then you are sitting in the sofa, reading, surfing your Facebook, and then suddenly I want to go to District 7, Phú Mỹ Hưng, and then you just put your phone down, and then you go out, take your motorbike, ride to Phú Mỹ Hưng, and then come back without any reason. So spontaneous, like you don't plan, you don't have any intention to do it. Just suddenly you feel you want to do it. so spontaneous. It's about my style of traveling. I don't plan. I don't hire like book tour or something like that. Very spontaneous. And I call myself a t-shirt destroyer. Why? Because I usually buy some white t-shirt and then I draw on the t-shirt. So I made a lot of drawing t-shirt, and one time I got invited to present it in the television. If I don't know if you watch television, so 2-3 years ago, I got invitation to do it in front of the camera and people filming, and we have that program, like a small talk show in the television channel. I think HTV7 or something like that. HTV3, HTV3, something like that. Yes, and I'm a full-time learner. So now I'm studying a lot. I still learning English every day. Like you, I have my notebook to write the English vocabulary every day. I have to listen to English lesson every day. I'm serious. When I'm cooking, I listen to English talk. So I don't feel that I'm totally no English. So I still have to learn a lot. Let me quick check in here. Okay, yeah. So when I mentioned about Finland, because now in Finland, I want to know if you know anything about Finland. So when I talk about Finland, do you have any?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I heard that.
Do you know how to say Finland in Vietnamese?
Yes.
Finland.
That's a beautiful country.
Yes.
I wish I can.
I heard
come.
Finland's in the past country about the educations.
Thank
In the
you.
world.
Yes, that's the reason why I come here to study education.
Famous with education. And what made the Finland famous for the education? What the reason?
Yeah, I would talk a little bit about that. But at this moment, apart from education, do you think about anything else? Anything else come to your mind about Finland? Is there anything else? You can leave the thing in the chat box if you have heard something about Finland.
I think it's famous with beautiful sightseeing landscape.
Yeah. So, do you know where it is?
I used to read the newspaper about this a few years ago. About parenting is no school, no homeschool. How to say? That's when you compare the schools in the Finland. You can choose any school because don't have to compare the level. Yes, yeah, the level.
Yeah.
Yes, the level between the schools. And
yes.
And the teacher take time to student
Yep.
create an environment, have environment to develop creative.
Yes, it's all correct. Yeah, it's very important. One of the reasons why they're so famous about education is the quality of the teacher. All of the teachers in Finland need to have a master degree. They like at least a master degree, and some of them, I know many of them have PhD degree, like Tingsy. So all of the teachers in Finland, you need to have master degree, Taxi. So that's one of the reasons. And they don't have like private school or public school. So no trường công và trường tư, public school and private school. So that is one of the reasons.
Yes.
So equal, so bình đẳng. So equal is a very, equality is a very important thing about education in Finland. So why I can't move my PowerPoint. So here is Finland. So you see on the screen, this is in Europe, and this Finland is in Northern Europe, very close to North Pole, Bắc Cực. So North Pole actually on top here. And then we share the border with Sweden and Russia. I think you may all know Russia, right? And then Sweden, Sweden, and then Norway, Norway. So the flag of Finland is this, and the population is 5.5 million. The size is the same with the size of Vietnam. So you can see it's a very big country, but
Yes.
very small
Small
people.
people. Small
The official languages is Finnish and Swedish. So that's why here the Finn, we call the Finns, but Finnish people can speak at least two languages, Finnish and Swedish. So Swedish is the languages of Sweden. But because Finland used to be a part of Sweden, so that's why the Finnish or the country Finland used the language Swedish. And the capital is Helsinki. I live in Helsinki now. Before that, I live in another city, 200 kilometers away from Helsinki, but I just moved to Helsinki 2 days ago. And so when I ask you about Finland, what is the fact about Finland? Here, you know, Christmas, Santa Claus. So he really lived in Finland, in northern Finland. We have a Santa village, yes, in northern here. And you can come and take a picture with him. Nokia, everyone hears Nokia, and the company Nokia is actually a Finnish company, and they still alive now, not like we, because now we use Samsung and Apple, but actually Nokia is a big company and they have many products, not only the phone. Angry Bird is the game, the very famous game, and I think you may know about Angry Bird. This is also created by a Finnish game company. Moomin is a very famous national character in Finland, and everyone is crazy about Moomin. Here, the picture here is about the Finnish student, the Finnish kids. They go to school, and you see they have a lot of outdoor activities. Outdoor activities mean like you go out to play, and it's like a lot of time, maybe like 70%, 50% of the time they play outside, not inside the room, sitting on the chair. No, not like that. They have to go outside. They have to, no matters if it's snow, if it rains, they have to go. And you see, they actually go with a string here. So they are all holding the string. So they follow the guide of the student, of the teacher, go outside and play. And playing is the main concept of education in Finland, and they call learning by playing. That's a very popular concept of Finnish education. And like Miss Jolie said, the landscape is very beautiful. They have a lot of forests, and they have some kind of small island, and we call archipelago. So very tiny islands like that. So those islands is a kind of national specialties of Finland. So national specialty like đặc sản quốc dân, như là đặc sản của of the country. And also Finland is very famous about sauna. Do you know sauna? Anyone here know about sauna? This last picture, this is sauna.
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 I don't know.
The sauna is you go to the room and the temperature inside is like 80 degrees. So you get a lot of sweat.
And the sauna come from in this country or famous for the sauna?
I think it's very famous from Northern Europe because we are very cold here. So that's why we need sauna. But then you go to the room, 80 degrees, very hot. And then we run outside like 0 or minus degree, like less than 0. We jump into the water, the cold water. So very hot and then super cold. And it's super amazing. The feeling like super hot, you sweat a lot and then jump into the water immediately. And that's amazing. So we often do it here. So this is all about Finland. And this is a very peaceful country because it's just it has tiny million. The population is very tiny. Big country, a lot of trees, very peaceful, clean environment, and living standard is high. So of course, I don't compare to Vietnam. We have 100 million people in Vietnam, so it's different. So yeah, so I come here because of the reputation. Reputation is like tiếng tăm of education. So I really enjoy my living, working and studying here. So that's it about the place I'm living now. Any question about Finland at this moment?
Did you get a scholarship to study in Finland, or you go to Finland by yourself?
I applied for scholarships, so I got a scholarship to come here.
Yes, so maybe if someone have an intention to Finland, you can ask Miss Chan the procedure to get a scholarship.
Welcome. And the country now, if you watch TV recently, my parents called me a few times and told me that in some channels in Vietnam, they had some small documentary about the living in Finland, and they showed that how good of the living standard here is. And after those documentary broadcast, there's a lot of people join the group of Vietnamese in Finland and ask how to come to Finland, how to study in Finland, how to move to Finland. A lot of people start caring about Finland. Because we have tiny population, so that's why you can understand we pay a lot of tax. And the money, the tax used for building the construction structure and improve the living standard, healthcare system, education is totally free. And you even get free meal at school, like lunch for students from grade 1 to grade 12. University students get the cheap lunch at school. Also, like me, when I was a student here, I pay half of the price for the renting. So I paid for the house renting, it's very low. The price is very low compared to the adult. So there's a lot of support for people here, no homeless people, because the city built like free houses for homeless people. But of course, we pay a lot of tax. So I pay like 25% of tax. So depends on how much I earn. If I earn more, I would pay more. So if I compare to the tax I pay in Vietnam, the tax here I pay is a lot. But then I get something back from the government. And it makes sense because we feel satisfied with what we get from the government here. So it's another story. So yeah, I don't want to go so far with that. So now I come back to my story and answer the question why I decided to leave Vietnam, my comfort zone, and come here. What happened with I'm sorry, I don't really know how. I have to stop sharing here and come back. Yep. Can you see the screen now? Are you still all there, or you already sleeping or something? I don't know.
Yes.
Sometimes when people don't say anything, I don't really know. So I will answer, how did I leave my comfort zone and why? So it actually started from 2011, where 2012, 11, when I graduated from my university and I started my first job as a chemistry teacher right after I graduated from university. I became a teacher. And so that's why when I got a job, I have money and I started traveling. So my first trip, it actually is a tour trip with my school, like summer holiday trip with my school. And I went to Thailand the first time. But you know, at that time, I didn't have any intention to go abroad. I didn't have any intention to study abroad because I even don't like to study English. I told you, I studied Japanese for 2 years in university. And at that point, I was the only student in my class decided to study Japanese instead of English. So I don't have any feeling with English at all. I don't like it. I don't feel like I have to go somewhere that I have to use English. So no English. I studied English for 12 years at high school, elementary school, and stuff like that. That's so boring, and that's enough for me. I don't want to study English in university. That's why I chose to study Japanese, and I really love Japanese. Japanese will be my lover for the rest of my life, that I will study Japanese until I die, and I want to speak Japanese like the way I speak English. But then when I got my first job, I went to Thailand with my co-worker, đồng nghiệp.
Yes.
And because I was the youngest one in my school, and people think that you must be so smart. You study in Lê Hồng Phong High School, you graduated from university with a good degree. You must be very smart. So in Thailand, everyone, when they wanted to talk to the Thai people, for example, buying stuff, transfer money, they all ask me, Jane, can you translate the English for me? And I was so embarrassed because I didn't know how to speak English at that time. But they all suppose that because I'm the youngest one, I must study English very well. And I feel like so embarrassed that I actually don't understand. I didn't understand at all at that time. And after that trip, I came back Vietnam, and I really feel like, I have to study English now. So that's in the moment I feel that I had to study English. That's the reason, the first small point. And then in 2012, 1 year after that, I had a trip, my first solo trip. The first time in my life, I went to Malaysia and Singapore with my friend. And here is the picture that we kind of like homeless on the street. And at that moment, you really have to I had to use English to communicate with people. We struggle a lot because we didn't really know English. And yeah, that trip is a lot for me. But then after that trip, I really motivated myself to study English because I realized, oh my God, traveling abroad is amazing. I can see a lot. that was the first time I went to Malaysia, and I was super surprised. I really like Malaysia because that is an amazing country to study about culture. I didn't expect that Malaysia was so modern like that compared to Vietnam in 2012. Malaysia is super advanced. And I really like the moment when I was in Malaysia, because you can see the people there. They are different. They have Muslim, they have Hindu, they have Chinese, they have Malaysian, they have different religion, but they don't really like care what you are wearing, what you are acting on the street. Not like in Vietnam. In Vietnam, you must be like the same with people in the class, in the work, in your workplace. You need to be like people. If you make something different, people will look at you, right? Like are you okay? If you do something different, I will tell you something story about that later. But in Malaysia, nobody care. We have they have Muslim people, and they have some people wearing the hijab, the scarf. If you know Arabic people, they cover the whole body with the black scarf, and nobody care about them. Nobody staring at you like, is it like terrorists or something? No, they have different colors in the country, different color skin, and nobody care like where you come from, or what are you doing, and even you have some big tattoo or something like that. No, at that time it was very amazing for me to see that differences in the country, and that was the first time I realized that I need to leave Vietnam to see more things, because in Vietnam you will see the same everywhere, the same people with you. You have to have the hairstyle like your friends. You can't wear something different with your friend. You can't say anything different with your friend. You have to do the same thing like people do. You have to graduate from high school, go to university, find a job, get married, have kids. And that's the other thing we have to do. If we live in Vietnam, we have to follow that way. And I think I need to think about that now. Before that, I was kind of, okay, I want to be a teacher. I want to earn as much money as I want, like my chemistry teacher. But then I realized, no, I have to do something else. And then after that trip, I decided to go back to Malaysia for 1 month. I stayed in Malaysia for 1 month with my friends in her university, like illegally. Like illegally in Vietnam, like bất hợp pháp. So like, because I didn't pay for the stay and didn't pay for the study, I was not a student, but I stayed with her in her dorm. Dorm is like ký túc xá. So I stayed with her in her dorm. And that was the first time I saw the life of a student in Malaysia. Also the first time I experienced the life of an international student in Malaysia. So I spent in Malaysia for 1 month to experience the feeling as a student living far away from Vietnam. How can I deal, if I can deal with my living there? So that's kind of like a try, I have to try. Because some people, some students, they suddenly decided to move abroad, study abroad, and then they have the culture shock. So, and it caused a lot of problem, but then I decide, no, I will try to see if I can handle that. So I went to Malaysia for 1 month to stay with my friend in her dorm, in her school. And I came back and I continued to work and earn money. And then until 2015, I decided to take a gap year. Have you heard about gap year?
Yes.
Anyone here know about gap year?
I know the gap year is mean when you after you graduated at the high school or the university, you spend 1 year for experience.
Yeah, exactly. But not for me as a student. I have a job. I was a teacher, but I told to my principal, Hiu Jung, that I want to have a gap year. She said, okay, please go and then come back, because during the time I work for her, I really take a lot of time to travel, and they all know that I love traveling. And yeah, so she decided, okay, because I actually asked her to quit my job completely, but then she said, no, I will give you 1 year and then you can go to anywhere you want, and then you have to come back to work for me. And okay, so I take 1 gap year from my work. And then I decided to go to Australia for 3 months. So I went to Australia for 3 months and traveled around the country. I met amazing people there. I met a lot of people there and experienced a lot of things. This is my first time camping in the forest, cooking in the forest, sleeping in the forest. A lot of new things for me, and it was super great, wonderful. And I don't know if I stay in Vietnam, I would have the same experience like that. Because it took money, so I borrow money from my friends and then I did it. But I didn't regret, không có hối hận, because I will start a work later and pay him off. Yeah, but if you don't do, if I hadn't borrowed the money to do, I would never have the chance to experience Australia. You understand what I mean? Nếu như mình không mượn tiền để đi là mình sẽ không bao giờ có cái trải nghiệm này. So that's why I didn't regret, không có hối hận at all. So I came back and I did another thing. So I decided, because she gave me 1 year off, so I still have a lot of time. So I decided to go to Đà Lạt, and I work in the farm, a Japanese farm, as a farmer. I couldn't handle that because I'm a city girl and I can't deal with the job in the farm. And that was so hard for me. I intended to stay there for 1 month, but then I left it maybe for a week and then bye-bye, I can't stay here as a farmer. Because, when I was a teacher, I was thinking maybe I should be a farmer. Rowing plane, it sounds amazing. Rowing plane sounds fun. Maybe I should do it. That's why now I have time. I should do it. So that's why I try whatever I want to be. And then I realized during my time in university, I haven't been to a waitress. I saw my friend working as a waitress in the coffee shop, but I never worked as a waitress. So I decided to apply to be a waitress in the coffee shop in Saigon. And I did, but I quit after 3 days because they say, Jane, you can't be a waitress. Why don't you smile with your customer? And I feel it's kind of like insult, offensive, like xúc phạm, because I smile all the time. My friends say that you're a crazy person because you smile all the time without any reason. But then that staff told me that you don't smile to the customer. Why you look so unfriendly to your customer? And I feel it's so offensive. I can't do this job. I can't do this customer service job. So I quit the job again. So like I said, I try all the things I want. So I want to be a farmer. I try to be a farmer and I say no. I try to be a waitress and I say no. And then I come back to work as a teacher. And I did another trip. I traveled around Vietnam from south to north by motorbike with my friends to see more about Vietnam, because I feel like I travel abroad a few times, but I haven't been to my Vietnam. So I traveled to different places in Vietnam during that time, been to many places, and I feel Vietnamese people need more help in terms of means like language or about education. And when I travel to those small areas like Hà Giang province or Sapa, Tây Bắc, those kind of places, I feel like we can do something to help the people here, but need to find a way. And those moments when I travel from place to place in Vietnam, abroad, I feel like I can do more things than just be a teacher at school and receive the salary every month and then, you know, do the same lesson again and again and again. I can do more things than that. There are a lot of nice things that I can learn from outside. And why I just sit here and do the boring thing. And that was the moment I decided I have to leave Vietnam, because my life in Vietnam at that time was enough. I feel that way. I need to learn more about the world. And then when I learn enough, I will come back to Vietnam and find a way to help people or support the community. And yeah, there's something I really want to share with you, some kind of quote I really like this: great things don't come from comfort zone. That's why I mentioned about comfort zone. When you live in the same thing with the same thing every day, you feel it's, you know, you master it. You know it very well, but do you feel you really enjoy it? If you feel enjoy, it's fine. Don't leave and don't leave. But if you don't feel satisfied, mean hài lòng, that means you need to do to change, to improve, but doesn't mean to quit, to improve. And there's one way away. There's one way away. And this is another word, another saying: ruin is a gift, and ruin is the road to transformation. That means, so you destroy something. Doesn't mean the destroy mean the end. It means it will be transferred to something. Or like when you study physics or chemistry, I'm pretty sure that your teacher saying that năng lượng bảo toàn chuyển từ trạng thái này sang trạng thái kia, không có bị mất mà chỉ chuyển từ trạng thái này sang trạng thái kia. So this is actually the same idea with this: ruin is a gift. Means the ruin is the destruction, and gift is the present. So actually, if you can destroy something, you can build it again by a new way, maybe. And the picture here, The Alchemist, is a very great book that I think you should read. But you need to read it in English. Don't read it in Vietnamese. You need to read it in English to understand fully the concept, how to leave the comfort zone, because it gives you the courage to do it. And here, this is saying, I took it when I was in Malaysia. Like I told you, I spent 1 month in Malaysia with my friend in her university. They said the differences between successful person and others, but is not lack of strength. Means không phải là mình không đủ mạnh. Not lack of knowledge, không phải là vì mình không đủ kiến thức, but rather a lack of will. Means you need to have a strong intention, like you need to wish and then have to do it. Like ước ao, mong muốn, hoài bão, đại loại như vậy. So to be a successful person, you need to have a will, what you want to do, what you really want to do, and you need to find a way. Actually, at that time, I didn't know what to do. I have no idea what I want to do, but I know that I have to leave Vietnam. I have to leave my comfort zone, because you can say, oh, why don't you just move to another city? Actually, I wanted to move to Đà Lạt. That's why I chose to go to the farm. But then I realized that no, if I live in Vietnam, I must live in Saigon to develop myself. Then I decided, no, if I don't live in Vietnam, then I have to go abroad. And here, I want to share with you, this is my biggest inspiration. So you may know this guy one, right? Anyone here don't know, anyone here doesn't know about this man? Is there anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, he very famous. This is Steve Jobs. He's a former CEO of Apple.
Yes.
And I remember, actually, I don't remember the year, but long time ago, in the newspaper Tuổi Trẻ, báo Tuổi Trẻ, I read a part about Steve Jobs. And then in the paper, they talk about Steve Jobs' life, and then how he established Apple company. And one of his story really inspired me. They translate at that time, they translate this thing into Vietnamese. I read it and I bought the book about Steve Jobs in Vietnamese. I read the whole book and I was really inspired by his life. He tried many things until he feels settled down. And he said, no, it's not settled down. You have to try different things. When you feel it's not satisfactory, you have to try again. And then I found this YouTube video. I have the link here. I can share in the chat box if you want to listen to it. It's from 2005. And he gave a speech in front of a lot of university students. And one of the famous quotes about him, and that's the thing I really inspired. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. Do you understand what it is, what it means? You can translate here.
I try
to make sure that everyone understands.
Exactly means. I try to translate. Help me to
so
translate. Actually, translation.
Sorry?
Try to translate first, my dear, I think it's not exactly.
So do we need to translate?
What?
Yeah, so you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So I consider myself in this moment is a dot. Do you know the game? Like they give you a picture with different dots, with different number, and you have to connect the dot, and then later it turned out to be a picture, elephant, chicken, or something like that. But at the beginning, you don't really know what the picture means. So you only have the dot. So for example, in 2011, I was in the dot. And then in 2012, I was in the dot. So when I in the dot of 2011, I don't know the dot in 2012. But when I in the dot in 2012, I look back and I know, that's why it happened. That when you connect all the dots you've been through, you understand what it means. So like khi mà bạn đang ở cái điểm này, bạn không có biết cái điểm phía trước là gì, nhưng mà khi bạn đã tới được cái điểm đó rồi, bạn nhìn lại thì bạn sẽ hiểu được những cái điểm này mà nó sâu chuỗi lại với nhau á, thì nó có cái ý nghĩa là như vậy. Thì bởi vậy là khi mình đang ở cái điểm này, mình không biết được cái điểm phía trước là gì, thì tại sao mình không đi tới đi, mình cứ đi tới, sau đó mình nhìn lại thì mình sẽ hiểu thì ra nó có nghĩa là như vậy. Thì có nghĩa là một cái điểm gì đó nó không có ý nghĩa, tới khi bạn phải vượt qua nó và bạn nhìn lại thì nó sẽ có cái ý nghĩa nào đó. So that's why you have to go, you have to move forward. So just trust the dot somehow connect you to your future, and you have to trust in something, your gut, your destiny, lifetime, or whatever. This approach never let me down, and it has all make the difference in my life. So that's why I say, just go, because you don't really know that where it will lead you to. So why don't you just do it? Because if we feel we can't do it, I'm not able to do it, then you will never know it will lead you to. So that means if you don't open the door, you can't go. You have to open it, and then you will see the way. There's always a way. This doesn't move. There's some problem with this one. It's okay if anyone's still here.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't
still
know.
hearing, still listening.
Is it still
Yes.
like, is it a lot? You want to take a break? I have a problem with my PowerPoint. I don't know why I can't change the slide now. It's the first time happened to me like this. Oh, I'm sorry.
In the break time, we have some questions for you to change the atmosphere. You agree with me?
Yes. But just let me know when we have a break time. Now?
After her presentation, do you have any question for her?
Hiến Quân, I see raise your hand and can you speak?
Yes, Mr. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know you became the global citizen, right?
No, I don't say that. I don't call myself global citizen.
Yes, and I can call you a traveler, right?
Yes, you can call me a traveler.
And here the question for you is when you met someone, the foreigner people, yes, which story you always talk about Vietnam?
Yeah, I will cover that question. No worry. Just I'm sorry if I speak too much and if you don't understand, but just stop me anytime. But I just want to explain to you that you can understand. But I will answer that question when I meet foreigner people. Okay. Yeah, and another person that this guy really inspired me to study abroad. Why I want to go to Finland, why I want to leave my job, why I have to leave my job, to quit my job, because I feel like my teaching job in Vietnam is very useless. I have to say that. I love teaching. I really love teaching. I really love to help people to study, but I feel the way that I have to teach in Vietnam is useless. I don't want to follow those ridiculous curriculum because it doesn't really help the student at all to develop the way they need to know when they go outside. The teaching in the thing I did, I don't say Vietnam, I just say myself. When I was a teacher, I go to the class, I told them some random lesson, chemistry, and they don't need it in their life. What do they need? They need to know how to deal with their problem, how to develop the thinking skill, how to think. That's the reason why I feel that my teaching is not enough. And I need to learn how to be a better teacher than just like the repeater like lặp lại, lặp đi lặp lại, the fact. I want to be a teacher. So that's why when I was a teacher, I used to talk to my student about my traveling. I told them that that's what I saw. I learned from that. That's the lesson. And I want they know that outside there, out of the school, there's so many amazing things that they need to know, not only learning for the test, not only for those examination. There's so many things, skill they need to know. And I feel like in the school, nobody taught the student about that. They just focus on the score, the examination. And I feel so tired. I'm so chán. Quá là chán. So I don't want to work in that environment. And yeah, this quote is very inspiring me. So education is not about learning the facts, but training the mind to think. You need to learn how to think. Suy nghĩ như thế nào? That is the biggest lesson to tell the student. That's why I come to Finland and decided to learn from here. So that is the story why I leave my comfort zone. So it's a lot of factors, gồm nhiều yếu tố, factors that I want to see the world. I don't want to live in the easy thing. I want to challenge myself. I want to learn new things. And my family supported me. Of course, I didn't got money from the family. A little bit, my mom gave me a little bit when I moved to Finland. But during the time I travel, I use my money for traveling to know. So that's why I have no saving money. Không có tiền trong ngân hàng because I use all the money for traveling. So because I have to satisfy his son. You have to satisfy something to get something. So I satisfy my money to travel, to learn. And because I travel and see, and that's why I decided to quit my job and quit everything. And because I believe that I can find something that I can make better. I know that I can do something better. And I actually feel that way now. So now we can have a break time. This is the time for you because I want to hear from you before I jump into the English part, how I did study English and meet foreigner people. So firstly, I need to know, why do you want to study English? You can just speak out loud. Anyone here, just be confident to say out loud.
The reason why I want to study English because when I go to work and my boss told me you can have me talk something with my customer by English, and I think, oh my God, if I have a time, I have a time and I spend more time for studying English, and I will keep my chain good better. I think it's the big reason I want to study English. And the second, I want to go to the abroad in the future. And it's the reason why I want to study English.
Okay, so you have a reason to study English and it's very specific. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got
okay.
it.
And anyone else? Why do you
Yes.
want to study English?
Yes. You know that when I was a little boy, I want to speak English because I want to get a good job in the future. I can earn a lot of money for my families and my parents. But when I work at the worker and I work at an auditor, and I realized that I need to enhance my knowledge. Yes, and currently I have to study English because I want to protect my country. Yeah, you know the our country, Vietnam, you living under the the war. So when I contact with the Japanese and the Chinese, and they always find many ways to think, to know about the Vietnamese. And I told myself, why don't we study in English and the Chinese language, Japanese? It's the reason why I want to study to protect our country and to protect the next generation. Yeah, and yes.
Are you editor? But do you work like programmer or something? Do you do programming?
I'm sorry.
Do you do programming?
What does it mean, the programming?
Like lập trình.
No, I am auditor. Auditor, you know? Auditor. Yeah.
I know editor.
Yeah.
Audit. Kiểm toán.
Yeah.
Auditor.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Yeah,
I don't know the job.
But I dislike this job. I am same job. I love the freedom and I love traveling. So I realized I dislike this job and I became a freelancer. I always I always see the opportunity behind me and in front of my mind. So I knew the many people around me, and I find that I need to enhance my knowledge related to the English.
Yeah.
There are many the information on the internet, and when you search by English, easy to update our knowledge.
Yes. See, it makes sense. Yeah, English is everywhere now. You need to know English. Like, you don't want to be isolated yourself with the world. if we don't know English. Anyone else? Thank you for sharing. But anyone else can tell me the reason why you want to study English. I want to know more story, anything more special.
Yeah.
Work. I know so far you want to study because of work, because of your study. Anything else?
Yeah, I really the reason I want to study English, the reason years ago until now is I want to come. I realize the importance of English when I have the baby. Yes, I see the many children around me in the Ho Chi Minh City, easy to talk English well. And when I take my baby to school in the kindergarten, the kindergarten, I see a little baby, just 3 years old, but she speaks English well. So I think, oh, so my baby will grow and she will talk. She will speak English well, like her. I see, but I am a mom, I am a mother, and I want to tell with my baby. So where I want to be a friend with my baby, so I can talk with her by English. And before, when in Vietnam, before when we study in high school or our secondary school, we learn English so bored. I just see English like a subject, not a language. That's a subject, not language. So I don't have a passion to learn English. And until after graduation in university, I work for a Japan company or a Korean company. So I use a little English in communication, and also I use in writing email. So speaking and listening skill is not good until when I have a opportunity to go abroad. To go abroad in Thailand. Yes, Thailand and the first nation I go to with business trip. And oh my God, that's when I used my English. I think, oh, I'm bad in English, not good in English.
Yeah, the same similar with me.
Yeah, especially speaking and listening. I don't understand the foreigner say.
Yes.
Can you repeat again? I can use
slowly. Especially I use the Thai basic people speak English.
Yeah, that's the basic word I needed to learn in school. So, so after that, I regret. Yes, I have a regret about the past time. Oh my God, why I focus on learn English, but because I really in my mind I don't have passion. I only see that the subject, not the language. Until I have a baby. Yeah, until I go to the kindergarten and see the little baby just 3 years and 3 years old and speak English well. And I realize the important. And I see who is speak well English. They have the better job, high income, high salary, and have a more opportunity to read book. Yes, you introduce the book. Like I note here, that's the alchemist. But I love reading book, and when I reading book in Vietnamese, the Vietnamese language, and I want to introduce English book, and I want to understand it, but I cannot because the limited in English. So now I have our own big reason to learn English now.
Okay, that's
And
good. Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah. I'm sorry if you don't have a chance or you don't feel confident to tell about your story, you can just type it on the text box and we can read your story why you want to study English, because you need to answer this question for yourself. If you don't answer to me, you need to explain it clearly to yourself. You have to write it down why you want to study English, because if you can't answer that, no way you'll be successful. So you need to know why. The reason will leave you some courage, some motivation. You know, motivation is động lực. Huh?
Yeah.
So the second question, do you like to study English? So I'm not sure if we have time, but you can leave everything in the chat box if you don't want to speak out loud. But if you can just say it out loud. So I want you to distinguish. Distinguish is phân biệt. Like to study and love to study. Just think about your love, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. You like them and love them. It's different. And English is the same. So you don't have to tell me this question, because do you like or not? Do you love or not? Just that. You don't have to justify yourself. Like justify means like being whole. If you don't like, it's okay. You don't have to tell me why. It's okay. So justify being whole. So you just answer like or love. So like means, okay, this is subject, it sounds fun. I can listen to some English song, something like that. I can use some English in Facebook to show that I can speak some English. It sounds fun. Like is something like you can go to the school, but love is different, right? Love is, you know, this person is terrible, but you still want to live with him for the rest of your life. This is love. You can handle that. You can balance. You can find a way to deal with him, with this person. So that's why I say here, English, you should consider, if you want to speak the language, you need to know, you need to see this is not like objects, not like một cái vật hay một cái subject like Angela just said. It should be someone or something you feel, you have the feeling with that. You need to see that you can live with that. You can live with English, like you don't feel annoyed. You don't hate that. Although it's difficult, but it's okay. Like that. It's a friend, it's a lover, it's a family member. It has some connection with you. And the whole way to find this connection is not like in 1 day, 2 days, 1 year or 2 years. No, it's not like that. Like I told you my story, I started learning English from 2011, but until when I really go to Australia in 2015, took me 4 years to speak English with the native speaker Australian. So it's really long time. But at that time, I only speak English. I spoke English like in the very basic way, not really like now. And then every time when my friend from Australia met me again, and she said, wow, your English get improved compared to the first time I met her. So it took me 4 years to get familiar with English. I didn't count the time I was in high school to study English. I only counted the time when I started traveling to Thailand, and the time I went to Australia. It's 4-5 years to get familiar with English, not able to speak, but get familiar with that. So this is my experience. Oh my God, why it didn't work all the time? Sorry, I have to find my mouse. Anyone know why this thing happen all the time? I can't change the slide. Yes. Yep. So this is the whole thing. I think it's important to tell you today. So the journey, I study English. There's some reason why I want to study English, because like the story I told you, I went to Thailand. I couldn't speak English. I feel so embarrassed. Embarrassed means maka. And then I traveled to Malaysia. I couldn't speak English well. I struggled with my traveling. And then I decided I have to study English because traveling is so much fun. And once you want to travel, you need to speak English. So I have some reason to start. And then the same question with all of the English learner, that how, but okay, now I know that I have to study English, but how to study English, right? Do I have to go to Hobbit English? I don't really know now in Vietnam, there's so many English center, but I don't have that money to go to those expensive English center. Like, 10 years ago, study in Hobbit English can cost like a fortune, like a lot of money to go to those center 3 times per week. But will it work? No, definitely not for me. Because it's just the same time you go to school when you were in high school. But for me, I have to find a way to study English. And of course, nobody told me at that time. 10 years ago, nobody told me how can I study English. I have all of my best friends from high school study abroad, America, Canada, but they just like a genius since they was born that they can speak English very well. But I'm not that person. I had to study English. I learned Japanese and now I go back to study English. How would I do it? I realized that YouTube is a very important and useful sources that you can find amazing things for study English. But what from YouTube? But not everything. I don't really listen to English song because I can't understand. Because when they sing, they already make the tone, the melody, and that's why you can't hear exactly how the word saying, pronounced. So that's why I don't use English song. I don't know if you listen to English song, you say this is the way I study, that's good for you. But for me, I don't really listen to English song. But instead of that, I listen to radio. So in my phones, I always install the app BBC Radio. You can find BBC Radio in all of App Store. And I just listen to radio no matter where I am, no matter where I was. Even now, I can tell you even now, every day, when I cook, when I go to the bathroom, when I brush my teeth, doing some housework, I listen to radio, BBC Radio. But I don't understand. I didn't understand at that time. I'm serious. But why I listen to English? Why I listen to it? Because I want to be surrounded, immersed in the English environment. This is the way you will get familiar with the language. If you don't feel familiar, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel easy when you listen to it, how can you study the language? Like a child, when he was surrounded by his parents talking Vietnamese every day, he just observed the language naturally, ultimately. And that's why we have to do the same thing when we study a language. We have to listen to it. We have to listen the way the native speakers say it. And radio is the best way because they have conversation. Somebody asks, somebody answer. And radio, BBC is very good because they have British accent. You can find CNN, but I don't know CNN radio, but I found BBC radio is very easy to install in the phone and you can listen to it easily. During that time, since 2011, 2015, I listened to radio every day, 2-3 hours per day. And, I don't really focus. I don't really care. I just play it and I don't really know what they say talking about. I just play it, surrounded me. So it's kind of satisfying. Instead of listen to music, I have to listen to those English radio. And because if you really want to do it, you have to deal with that. Talking to myself is the one to help you to open your mouth and speak the language. So actually, I went to a club, an English club, and the teacher is American Vietnamese teacher, and he came back Vietnam and opened an English club. And in that club, he encouraged people to speak out loud like here. You don't need to worry about your grammar, vocabulary, just speak out loud. Just have to say it. And I went there for a few months. And after those class, you know, when I rode my motorbike on the street, I just interview myself. For example, Jang, how you feel today? Jang, how you think about the park? Jang, how you think about that person? Jang, how you think about the movie? I ask myself questions and I answer myself. So everything happened, I saw on the street, in the class, everywhere. I saw something. I asked myself the question, how you think about that? Why? And then I answer to myself, speak out loud. And that's the way you can practice thinking in English. Not like thinking in Vietnamese and translate to English. No, you have to react to something in English that way. That is the way that people often say, think in English. But how to do it? Then I tell you, this is my way. I don't know other people's way, but this is my way. So for example, like now, you watching me. So you ask yourself, how you think about this girl? How you think about her talk? Ask yourself, answer to yourself, think about it in English. And if you don't have the vocabulary, leave it, just continue. No matter if you don't have the word, just try to speak everything you have in your mind. So you don't have to worry, don't make the excuse like, I don't have enough vocabulary. Well, then you have to go back to the first step, learn something from YouTube, find a lot of material there and get the new vocabulary. That's the only way. Go back to those lessons. If you can go to English school, that's good. If you can't, you don't have money, you have internet, then go to YouTube. And from YouTube, you can find that. Here on the right column, I list some of the show, the lesson I found in YouTube that I use for the last 10 years. For example, if you want to know who could be the teacher for you, I really expect you to see in vid here. It means English video, and they have amazing video. Or English acted. I love this teacher, and he has a British accent. So from those videos, you can start building some vocabulary. And then don't make excuse that you don't have the vocabulary. And one of the simple way to learn vocabulary is open the dictionary, take the random word and study that one. But now you don't really use the dictionary. I can show you one dictionary I really like. Like now I can show you how I study the vocabulary from dictionary. I will stop here. All right, so now I will share the screen again. So I use this is the dictionary I use. This is called Cambridge. I don't really know the link, so I just Google it. And here, dictionary.cambridge.org. So this is my dictionary. So let's say we want to know the word spontaneous. And then from here, you know spontaneous, right? And then you see in the example, you see my screen? You see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So in the screen here, so in the example here, they have some other word. For example, okay, this one. There was a spontaneous outpouring of emotion. What is emotion here? Click on this one, and then it will link you to emotion. So from one word, you will see another word. And here you have the sentence, so you know how exactly the word is used in the sentence. Write those sentences down, and then like copy, like in Vietnamese we say đạo văn. So, but you can just copy the way they use the word in the sentence, not only word. So, and here, for example, like a lot of men, he finds it hard to express. So what is it? Express means click on express. So you have a way to develop your vocabulary. And once you have the vocabulary, you can go back to my tip here about talking to yourself, because now you have more work to say, right? You don't make the excuse that it doesn't work something. Yeah, so this is the way I improve my English by using dictionary, listen to radio, talking to myself. Those English source, Tech Talk also very nice sources, but they usually very advanced, but it's very good if you can listen to Tech Talk. Ellen's shows is a very funny show that I really love because her English is very clear. I really love her show because you will know more about American culture by Ellen's show. If you live in Vietnam, if you live in Saigon, I don't know now it's still open or not, but during the time when I was in Saigon, when I studied English, I usually went to the Consulate of America, Đại sứ quán Mỹ in Lê Duẩn Street. Lê Duẩn và Hai Bà Trưng. So that is the very best place to study English for free, and they have all of the material that you can borrow, and they also have some event, so you can follow their Facebook page to see what they are doing now. I think now they must close, but you still can follow them and see when they can open and register to go. They have the English library on, I don't remember the floor, but I usually went there once or twice per week to use the material there, to study there. And it's really give you the motivation, you study English in the Consulate of America. How feel it make you feel like, this is kind of a nice place to study English. And then couch surfing and traveling. So now you can listen, you can talk. Then is the time you go to practice with the people speak English with you, because you need to find a place to interact is like tương tác. Couch surfing, I will talk about couch surfing later. And also I have some tips here to improve the specific skill. So listening, like I told you, by radio, you can find different radio. Practice pronunciation is important. The most important with the Vietnamese people study English is pronunciation. So when I met my husband, he said that Vietnamese people never put the ending sound. So that's why it's very hard for him to understand Vietnamese, English. But how to practice pronunciation? Who can tell you? Because I don't think the Vietnamese English teacher can tell you, because even them, they also make mistakes. So who can tell you your pronunciation? I'm sorry, I have to move to the kitchen to find some water. So I will tell you this easy way to practice pronunciation. Do you have your phone there? Do you have your smartphone?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to your smartphone and go to the note, N-O-T-E, in your smartphone. Do you have it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now, do you have any? All right. So do you see the English word here on the screen, right? So now use the microphone button. Instead of tapping, you use the microphone button and read the word. How did I start learning English? Oh no, let's say, what is the temperature outside? Say it to your phone. And see if your phone can recognize what you just said.
Yes, my phone has the weather in the screen.
So, but if it really show you the sentence you just said.
No, it not show the sentence. It just show the result.
But you use the note.
I use Siri in the.
Oh no, don't use Siri. Don't use Siri. Use the note, because this is the place you can practice pronunciation. Of course, you can use Siri, but I'm trying to tell you, when you want to practice reading and pronunciation, you should use the note in your phone. This one, I don't really know. Not in the phone, like when you take note, and use the microphone and then read anything. For example, you go to the dictionary Cambridge I just showed you. You read the sentence, use the microphone, and see if your phone recognize your word. If they can't recognize, that means your pronunciation is wrong. And you have to practice until you make it correct. For example, say the word temperature. So this is the way I practice my pronunciation. And there's some word, can you believe that I practice until I can't say it anymore because so exhausting. Because I feel like my English teacher at school gave me the wrong pronunciation for a long time, that now I can't correct it anymore. Does it work for you? Any comment?
Yeah. Still listening your story, your sharing.
We speak.
But I mean like the
wrong a lot.
See, and this is the way you can practice pronunciation. For example, I found those words. For example, example, position, those words. I usually make mistake because I usually confuse the Z with the S. But when I say position, no, the phone can recognize that word. It's position, Z. And this is a very good way to practice pronunciation using your phone to recognize your pronunciation. And then you know where is the place you need to improve. That's it for pronunciation. This is the tip I really want to share with you because it helped me to improve my pronunciation a lot. I have to say a lot. And then written English test, don't translate it because I know that if you don't understand, you will have to go to the English Vietnamese dictionary, but don't do it. I just skip, just go for the whole paragraph, and then maybe you can come back and if there any words happen again and again and again, you can now know this word is important and you can use the dictionary to translate. If there's some random word that happened once, don't take time to translate it because maybe you would never use it. But if you see any words happen again and again and again and again, that means this is the very important words that you need to know. So you will know when you need to translate, when you don't need to translate. not translate everything. So if anyone wants to study IELTS later, this is a very important tip, that don't translate everything, just translate the important word which repeated again during the text. And the last one is the funny one. We practice listening to get familiar with the sound. We practice pronunciation to speak. We practice reading to understand, but how we write English in the good way. This is the very funny, because I find myself it's so hard to write as an English native speaker. No way, because you have to think in Vietnamese and translate. But this is the way that can help you to write in English. It copy the way the English speak, the way the English people write. And how to do it? Like I said, when you use the dictionary, write down the whole sentence, copy the whole sentence, and once you want to use that word, just use that sentence. It's like, copy in Vietnamese like đạo văn, but it doesn't matter if it's not like official writing. Secondly, stalking people account. I love to do it. So I have, for example, iTalki account. I have a Couchsurfing account, Facebook. I used to use dating account for a short time, but I use those places to stalk people, to see how they describe themselves. When they talk about some hobby, you will see how they say it in their way. And you need to know, you need to copy that way. For example, you say, I love traveling, but you will see how they describe love traveling in their way. So in those social media accounts, they usually have the description about themselves, and you can stalk their account and you will see how they describe their hobby. And that's the good way for you to copy in the future. When you have to describe yourself, you can copy their way. And I really love to go to stalk people on social media because I can see how they use English. That's the only way I learn how to write English in the natural way. And this is the last question for someone asked me how I meet foreigner friends. I'm sorry for the last part. If you need to ask me anything, like the tip to study English, I will move quickly and then I come back later.
Yes,
How to make foreigner friends. Yeah, Couchsurfing come to me very random, very accident, that I remember the moment I was on the bus number 3 from Saigon back to my home in District 12. I read the book Xách ba lô lên và đi of Queen Chip, and then in the book she mentioned about Couchsurfing. That was the moment, like, this is the place I can find foreigner easily. So I can't host people because I live with my grandparents. My parent is a big family, but I can hang out with people. I don't know how many of you here have Couchsurfing account. How many of you? I don't know how many. I don't see people, but yeah, please, if COVID done, you can find Couchsurfing, make an account, and then you will find a way to meet foreigner, because this is the way. Firstly, you can host them at your place. You can hang out with them in outside, and yeah, so you can travel with them. And I did it during the time I was in Vietnam. I traveled with them. I was a tour guide. I was hosted. Hosted means like I stay at the place and they host me. And then I met their friends. So it's kind of a circle just spreading very big, you know. We meet a lot of people from different places and we can communicate with them. From someone from Egypt, I got, or someone from Russia, America, a lot of people from different places and learn about from them. And then this is one of the courage that a lot of people quit their job, traveling, find a way, and you just encourage yourself. You see, a lot of people do that. Why? I just sit here and don't do anything else. Yep. So couchsurfing is my best friend, and I have the problem with the and this is the first couchsurfing experience on the left side in 2012. This is a friend from Germany, and I was a tour guide. I took him to my high school, Lê Hồng Phong, because Lê Hồng Phong High School is very beautiful. So I took him there. Then I took him to Bến Nhà Rồng, Ho Chi Minh Museum. Then we took the water bus along the Saigon River. Yeah, so he was my first friend from couchsurfing. At that time, my English was not very good, but around 2012, but I started speaking something. And seeing the first person I met, I really motivated myself to meet more. So every week I met one person, and I met different person from different places and learned a lot from them, their story. And this is the reason why really motivated me to leave my comfort zone, because you need to meet people have the same idea with you to encourage you. And in 2015, I went to Laos and I met a girl from couchsurfing, and she really saved me from an accident that I missed my flight and I didn't have money. I almost broke like a homeless, and she helped me to study, to stay at her place and gave me some money back to Vietnam. 2000, and then this is my best friend from couchsurfing. I travel around Australia with her. She from Seattle, America. And yeah, so she really took care of me when I was in Australia, traveled with me. And I went to America to visit her later, and she went to Finland to come to visit me later. So we have a real connection, friend from couchsurfing, not, just like for fun. We really make a friendship from couchsurfing, and from them, you will open your network to different places, and it's really fun. Yeah, basically that's all the thing about my English journey. All of the message here is you need to find a way to understand yourself, that what do you want and why you want to study English. And to answer those questions is not easy like in one day. You need to meet people. You need to go out of your comfort zone to answer the question, who you are and what do you want and what can you do, what you can do, what you're able to do. Because if you just sit by yourself, you would never know what you can do until you go to meet people and listen to their story and get their story to improve your story. This kind of interaction, basically. And yeah, there's a tip here, a bonus here. This is my husband, the one in the short and t-shirt. This is where I met him, 2016, in a funny way, because when I was invited to this talk, they asked me to share about the story, my love story, but I think we run out of time here. But I can share with you that I have he Australian, and that's why this is one of the reasons my English get better, because I can speak English to him every day. So one of the reason why I can improve my English is because I speak English every day before I moved to Finland. not right now. Of course, now I have to speak English. But before that, every day when I was in Vietnam, I spoke English to him every day. So that's why I have a chance to practice. So if you want to study English, if you don't have English husband or English wife or English lover, you need to speak English every day with yourself, or find someone to speak English. And it should be a native speaker. Of course, you can speak with Vietnamese, but it will take time to improve. And take all of the tips I give you. If you think it's useful, I think it's very important for you. Yeah, the last time, but last minute, but we don't have time now, because the idea is I want to give you some picture and ask if you know where it is, but maybe now we don't have time to go to it. Here are the countries I have been to, around 11, but not now. Since I moved to Finland, I didn't go to anywhere, but before I went to Finland. I used all of my salary to travel, and from 2011 to 2017, I've been to around 11 countries. Buy my money, travel backpacker, go with couchsurfing, meet people. And that's why I went to those countries many times and meet a lot of people and learn more about the world around me and improve myself and give me the motivation to leave Vietnam at the end of 2018. Yep, so that's all. Sorry to talk too much, but now if you have any question, I can answer if you still alive there.
Was amazing presentation, and through your presentation, we can recognize everything. And I'm very appreciate that you very busy with your moving your accommodation, but you give up a little time to share with us some point of view about your country where you are living now. Yes, I'm really appreciate about this, and you can express the motivation for us to how to improve our our English and how to get knowledge day by day. And you know, we have a lot of time investment, time and money to study English, but we are successful. We have the mistake in speaking English, so we don't know how to place suitable words into the sentences so that the foreigner understand what you mean. And it's very easy to mistake the noun, the adjective, and the adverb as well. This is my mistake. I don't know the other idea, but from your presentation, for my practice, I absorb your knowledge, your experiences, and so that I can apply to myself. Thanks for your sharing too much.
Thank you. If you want, I can send you the English part where I present about the tips, and the link. I think you can, if you're interested in Steve Jobs, you can watch his video, his speak. Yeah, I think it's very nice speak, and the link and the YouTube part that you can find the English lesson, free lessons there. For example, English video is a lot. There's a lot of teacher. I don't know if you try English video before. The channel English Vid, they really useful. They have different teacher, British accent, American accent, Canadian accent, and they are very helpful to give you different lesson about, for example, one of the most difficult thing is phrasal verb, and I found it is still difficult for me until now when to use it in daily life. But yeah, it takes time to study, and just keep going with some small thing. For example, spend like time to listen to radio, like I said, practice pronunciation. It's very important to practice pronunciation. People say, just say it. No, you have to say it correctly. You can't just say anything you want. You speak their language. You have to respect their language. So you have to improve your pronunciation. That's the must. Don't say the language in the Vietnamese way. I think it's very disrespectful. So practice pronunciation, and of course it's very hard. Sometimes I practice and then I have a sore throat, but it's the thing we have to go through.
Okay, so I have a last question for you. How much time we can get master like you?
Oh, I have to say I started since 2011, but because we studied English when we was in high school, so it counted because you have grammar. You are master of grammar. You know a lot about English grammar than the English people. So this is an advantage. But for practice, listening, pronunciation, reading and writing, I'm still learning now. I'm not a master now. I just can speak a little bit English. I can communicate with English people in some basic thing, but yeah, still learning. But I started since 2011 from now. So it's like 10 years.
A lot of valuable lessons from you.
No, I think here in Finland, you will feel a lot. You will find a lot of motivation, a lot of old people, but they still want to study English every day. We went to the library and we saw them to study English. So it's a lot of motivation here, lifelong learning. So keep going.
I'm feeling very fantastic with your story. And if you come back with us again.
Yeah, I promise you, Thảo, that when my husband comes, he will show up and do some meetup to help you with pronunciation session. So yeah, let's see if we meet again.
Thank you so much. The time up is last more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we started a little bit late, so now I feel like everyone.
We like hearing. Don't sorry.
You.
Hearing your story inspire us many times, and I really impressed your sentence that you have to sacrifice something to get something. Yes.
Yeah.
In the past,
I have to.
Yeah, we didn't.
You really have to do it. For example, I have to satisfy my hobby of listening Vietnamese song by listening radio. I satisfy my time to watch Lê Dương Bảo Lâm show or Trấn Thành show by watching TikTok. That's it, the satisfy. I can't okay, this kind of something I have to do to choose which one is more important. What Trấn Thành or what TikTok?
Yes, everyone have equal about time. Everyone have 24 hours, and we take time for what?
Yeah, you need to set up some discipline to practice. So yeah, you can contact me if you want, and if you want, you can email me. I don't know which way would be better for you. In terms of studying English, IELTS, I have some tips, but this is not the place if you want to study IELTS. If you want to study abroad, especially Finland, I can share my experience, so I can give you something. So maybe you can find me in email, or I'm not sure which way. Maybe this one in my Facebook, so you can send me a message anytime. I'm not sure if I will make friends because I consider not using Facebook, so just send me message. I can just take the message and chat with you. It's easier. Facebook, so you can send me a message anytime.
Mom, yeah.
Ask me about
I
studying.
said
English, yeah.
already.
Oh, thank you. All right, so maybe it's too late now, so we can close.
Okay. Thank
So
you a
Jolly
lot
already changed to
about
pajamas,
today.
so I think she about to go to bed or something. What time is it now? 6.
Yeah, thank you for your
Okay.
time.
Okay, sorry.
Sharing with us.
Sorry.
Thank you
Thank
for
you a
your
lot.
time.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.